quite a wedding destination
Yes.
resort.
Yes.
And hence we play a quite active role over there. Almost 30% of our revenue is associated with corporates and 30% is weddings.
Yeah.
Uh, but
How come? What is the thing with wedding? How
so
does it work?
we operate 6 resorts. So I play a role in hospitality. We operate 6 resorts.
Okay.
We operate an adventure park, and we
Okay.
also operate counterterrorism training academy for civilians.
Wow.
It's a military
Wow.
themed resort. I think you will love it. One day I should, after this chat, I should exchange numbers and
Yes,
send
yes.
you all an invite.
No.
It's in the forest. It's a military. So we've got Lieutenant General of Indian Army who's retired, who's leading the team, and we conduct training programs for civilians and corporates on counterterrorism activities, jungle survival, and survival techniques. And we've designed the whole resort with tents and shipping containers, but in a super uber luxury manner. So it's like a 5-star plus standard within the forest. The room formats are it's a nice property. You'll love it.
Is there an age group for minimum age?
No.
Okay,
It's meant for the whole family, but
excellent.
yeah, very small kids can't really do
Yeah,
the
of course,
activities.
of course. Like,
And
but 16, 17-year-olds can.
Even
Yeah,
8-9-year-old should go through it, because when there's a terrorist attack or there's a shooter, they don't look at the age and attack. So I mean, if your child is going to start crying at that point in time, not only will the child die, but all of you will die. So anyway, it's interesting. You must check it out. I will take your numbers through the moderator, and I'll exchange.
No, please
okay, guys.
do that.
I think we are live.
Hello, Mr. Choksi.
Hi.
I'm Sean. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Hello everybody.
Mr. Arjun
Hi.
has also joined. Okay.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. Hi Rito.
Hello.
Hey, hi Uncle. Long time.
Long time, yeah.
So we were just talking. Hi Arjun.
Hey, how's it going? Hi everyone.
Hi Arjun. Hi Raghu
Arjun.
here.
Hey.
Hi guys. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
I think Mr. Raman
Hi,
Sikka
Sean.
is on his
Good
way.
evening.
Hello. Hi.
So Mr. Raman Sikka is awaited. Okay. He's logging in. So before you checked in, Architect Ankur and Rahul and Sean, we were just talking about how many businesses Mr. Jimmy Mistry is able to manage, and suddenly he's changing of gear within half an hour to so many diverse set of business. We were just
we should get the focus
Multitasking at
back.
its peak.
We should get the focus back to the talk and get me out of it. Hey Arjun, how are you? How's that?
Oh, well, he's good. Relaxing, staring at the sea. There's lots of reading and writing.
You guys are in Lonavala or in Bombay?
Unfortunately in Bombay, but it's not bad. We're on the sea, and in fact, I think about 45 minutes from now, we're expecting a school of dolphins that's been coming to the shore every day at the same time, and a couple of flips and jumps out of the water, and the whole building lines up on their balconies. So can't complain.
Super, huh? See how nature has turned itself around, huh?
I know, it's healing beautifully. I think once our parasitic influence stops, nature starts to heal quite quickly.
The only thing is that we should remember this, because if we forget about it and then go back to our daily lives, then it'll be sad. So let us see. Let's hope that these things are retained to some extent.
Let's hope the economy is retained so we all have jobs and work.
Let's start with that. Yeah, let's start.
That's
with that.
the most critical part.
I know.
So I think meanwhile, Mr. Sikka joins in. We can start, and I think he's about to join. But so thank you, everyone here, and thank you people who are in the audience. Thank you so much for making it here today. Very good afternoon, good evening, and everyone out here in panel as well as in the audience again to join this webinar on behalf of Insight Content Platform in association with Johnson Tyres. I welcome you to the opening episode of Reboot and Refresh series of webinars. My name is Dinesh Vyas, and I, apart from being closely associated with Insight, I head marketing for H&R Johnson India. Thank you, audience, once again, and you are encouraged to keep on sending your comments and questions. That will make this entire session very interactive. It has been over 2 months, and it is the first time, and perhaps last time too, that we got a long forced break from our work schedules. Now, of course, not without a reason. These lockdowns are to safeguard ourselves and the society at large. We fully acknowledge the situation, have our empathy and sympathy for all the troubled people and also those who have and who are suffering due to some ongoing issues and due to this pandemic. The topic of the webinar is reboot and refresh, but important is not the topic. Important is the list of panelists first. All of these eminent people belong to the fraternity of creators, creators of man-made and curated spaces, mostly for human beings. I also heard some of them during this break are also thought for making space for some extraterrestrial people. Who knows? And creativity has got no limits, and who knows that they might have some client to support, and who knows that they also have planned to use tiles in those huge floors. So thank you all for coming. As we were talking about, we have Mr. Jimmy Mistry, Chief of Della Group, design to real estate, to adventure, to retail, to interior shopping, designer, entrepreneur, everything. And now moving on, let's hear out from Jimmy Mistry. We were just talking about you. There's so many of diverse activities. Definitely, I think you could have been in position to focus on some new things, or maybe there's so many pending things for you, sir.
Well, like everybody, we also went through the same. The first couple of weeks, it was okay. It was a good break, and we were trying to understand how do we press the reset button and how do we quickly recalibrate. Next couple of weeks for us have gone as an organization because we are into diverse businesses besides design. We're into manufacturing and hospitality. We've gone into deep learning, and we spent, I think, about 6 weeks of hardcore learning with about 150 of us getting involved with the finest of trainers. This we could have never done with such a peace of mind across, which is nice. However, we have done it with a very clear intent, and it's going to help us with our design career as well. Because I personally believe that this kind of a pandemic has stolen our soul, has shaken up our soul completely. It's a calamity where we've not really nothing really has changed around us. With this pandemic, the only thing that's changed and the only thing that's really made a difference is us. Streets are same, businesses are going to look the same physically. Nothing is going to change. It's not a man-made calamity. It's not a flood. It's not an earthquake. So keeping that in mind, emotionally, every single human being has been tormented. It's going to go through a sea change. So spending patterns are going to change. Human behavior is going to change. VM is going to change. It's going to be very, very dynamic. Hospitality is going to change. Customer relations, whole user experience in any line of business per se for design, it's going to change. It's no longer going to be the same. And the sooner we try and get into this human science of anthropology and understand the mindset, the better we'll be able to respond as designers. The sooner we don our empathetic design thinking hats and try and work out solutions. So we as designers become more problem solvers is one statement that I've been repeating very common, and become solution providers because the economy needs to kickstart. We are already way behind the world by a couple of weeks. Indian economy is not a first world country. It will not be able to sustain no matter what packages have been announced. On ground reality remains very, very grim. Hospitality industry has been left with a big thenga. Zero has been made available. 5 out of 10 restaurants are going to shut down if things don't really alter. So all this is going to make a big difference on entire human psyche. And it is the job of the designers to take this time off, understand it, and think how using design thinking and empathy we're going to respond back.
Before that, I would like to take the view from Jimmy Mistry from so many diverse things. Sir, change kya ho raha hai? I mean to say, yeah, kuch thought level pe, what Arjun was saying, at thought level and all those things are happening. How it is going to affect, you think? You have some new ideas where we can, so much of investment has already happened. Suddenly everything may change, everything may not change. What's your estimate about these things?
See, a couple of things that Arjun touched upon, I seem to resonate with the views. Reverse migration is a given. People were coming to the urban land from rural areas because technology was not there in rural areas, telecom was not there. They saw better quality of life for their next generation. They have been a shramik majdoor, or they've been doing farming. Now they thought our children will grow, be educated in cities properly, go to college, learn English, and get white collar jobs. So that whole dream has come crashing down, because it's the quality of life over here that they've experienced has been far worse, many levels far worse. The 4 hours of traveling daily for a menial job where he's earning 15,000 or 20,000 or 30,000 rupees. When he's retiring, he's not able to make enough money to get his children get married. He's still paying his loan installments on the house. The house, by the time, with the kind of construction technologies and materials used, is already dilapidated in the last 15-20 years. Whatever was constructed, you can look at the condition of the buildings in Vasai, Mira Road, Kandivali, Borivali. I mean, the buildings are not in a great condition. So the reverse migration is a given. This pandemic has only speeded up the process. It's going to be a much faster process now, because people have gone back to their villages, and these people are going to realize that if we are having the same technology available here, at least we have a proper house, we have open spaces, they have a two-wheeler to commute, far better quality of life than a local train or a bus where they're treated like animals. And hence, I firmly believe that reverse migration is going to be the order of the day. Second change post-pandemic, unlocking happening. Yes, people have now begun to accept the fact that certain functions in an office can be done on a remote work. So work from home. So the concepts that come out in 95, 96, Soho, small office, home office, and now those concepts are revisiting us years down the line and decades down the line, where people have really started working from home. I, for one, I've always been used to working from home, no matter whether I'm in Bombay or I'm in Lonavala. Both the places I've got full-fledged facilities at home to work from. But most of the other people who are never working from home and who always wanted to keep work a mile away from their house and not to mix these two things are beginning to enjoy a better quality of life. So even top management executives are now debating and discussing. Let's look at the top 5 consultants. All of them are working from home and they're super happy. They're as productive. So it's, yes, in some businesses, face-to-face, like Arjun was saying, face-to-face is very important. But then a lot of the other functions can be done from home. So there'll be a fine balance at some point in time that people will figure out, each to himself, for the line of profession or business that they are in, what suits them. But Indian mindset of Sasta Sundar Tikau, and if an Indian entrepreneur has his way to reduce the cost, he's in a 10,000 square feet office and he can manage with 3,000 or 4,000 square feet. He is not going to go for 10,000 again. He's going to downsize, and downsize very rapidly. So that's a given. I can talk to 50 entrepreneur friends around, and I know each one of them are talking about downsizing. They call it removing of the fat. But yes, they're shutting down branch offices. They're shutting down things, reducing the sizes of their offices. As soon as the lease rental is going to be renewed next year, they're already negotiated a 30 to 40% rental decrease right now. But they know these rents will go back in a year's time. So they are downsizing their offices. And this is the time they've got a lot of free time to sit properly and decide processes. So they are actually going through process engineering exercises in each and every organization. So there is disruption happening, and at a very rapid pace. We will see the changes in almost every industry where office goers are there. Of course, when you talk of factories, you talk of agriculture. There's going to be no change across with social distancing happening. Factories, some kind of change will happen. But we also need to realize that most of the production in India happens under the unorganized segment, and you have small industrial units in Parel and Dharavi and Daisars and Borivalis of the world, and all the outskirts of all major metros, not only in Bombay, where people are working out of small galas, and there are 20 people, 25 people working literally in 5 feet distances and working. That's not going to change. They are not going to be able to afford to move into a larger place. Economy is extremely strained. Industries are extremely strained, and the impact is going to be felt. So let me tell you about hospitality and design, because these are the 2 areas where we have people on the panel from design and hospitality, which I dwell into. All banking institutions have given blanket approval to stop the project's funding. All projects have to be reevaluated. So to begin with, under the current pandemic situation, the only thing that the owners are going to do or operators are going to do is cut costs, and cut costs is going to happen at the cost of cutting the project cost. So projects will no longer, in terms of financial terms, project will no longer look the same. There will be trimming done, a serious haircut given to it. Fancy frills will be removed off for most of the projects. So this is in hospitality. And remaining hotels operating won't know whether they're going to see the light at the other end of the tunnel. People are asking for cash flow statements. How does one prepare a cash flow when you don't know if a guest is going to come to your doorstep or no? Of course, there are trends and patterns across globally. When Italian markets opened up and Spain opened up and Europe opened up and UAE, Dubai is opened up, there can be trends that can be learned from there. There'll be binge shopping, there'll be binge traveling, whatever it is, or there'll be revenge shopping, as they say. But whether it's going to happen in India with Indian mindset, one never knows. And we all are hopeful that yes, we will have traffic back and projects will see the light at the other end of the tunnel, which have been put on a pause right now. But design fraternity has to be ready to go and participate, like I said earlier, become problem solvers. And if the budgets have to be trimmed, how can they be trimmed without compromising on the overall quality and layout? Some amount of human traffic movement changes are going to happen within offices, within the office environment, commercial environment, and hospitality environment. There'll be a lot to learn from the hospital industry. All usage of materials and specifications are going to be derived directly from there. That's a ready reckoner for us as designers. Whatever the hospital industry has been using so far, all those products are going to be welcome first in hospitality, commercial segment, and later at some point in time, it will come in the residential segment. So it's super dynamic. You will see changes almost everywhere. I'm sure at Johnson Tiles, you people are already, your R&D team must be already working on how to make bacteria-free tiles or how to do things that will be a added layer across onto the tile. So all these disruptions and innovations are already on the way as we speak.
Mr. Jimmy Mistry, can we say that rather than a profound transformation, perhaps the pandemic will be merely refining our practices more, yet leave our fundamental approaches and values unchanged?
Before I answer that, I would like to continue from where Mr. Sikka left it. You know, government has a very important role to play. Government has always had a very important role to play, but now functioning and non-functioning of the government can be seen very apparently. For example, the real estate industry has been suffering. People have been. It's a bloodbath, and people have been shouting their throat hoarse, but the government didn't listen to them till last week, where they've allowed one-time restructure to be done. And that was announced, I think, day before yesterday or 2-3 days back. So government should have done this a couple of months earlier. Even without COVID, the industry was bleeding and suffering. When we are talking of getting in automation into construction industry, today, let us face the facts. Builders do not have money for manual labor, leave alone automation. I mean, this is a hard reality on ground. And the larger the name, the larger the bleed. It's a bloodbath, like I'm saying, I'm using the right word. It will take a lot of time for the industry to come out of it. Very critical for all of us in the design fraternity to put our daunting hats of design and focus. The problem-causing areas like slums have to be thought of, and design fraternity need to raise to the occasion. Government projects are not designed by design architects. Government projects are designed by practically draftsmen. And that's where some of the projects, I'm not saying all the projects, I would not take away credibility from any of our panelists over here, but look at what has been done across to the city of Mumbai and SRA, and why has it been unsuccessful, and the kind of slum redevelopment buildings that are done by developers, because it's left to the whims and fancies, the architecture design. The SRA authority is not interfering. There is no authority. There is no public-private partnership like the Heritage Committee, where there's a public-private partnership. And since the time Heritage Committee is in place, things are 90% in order, because some of the finest names are there on the committee. The similar way in SRA, slum redevelopers, some slum hutmen's life needs to be changed. We are talking of human-centric design. Their rehabilitation needs to be understood in a more holistic manner. It is not about 300 square feet or 270 square feet that we are fighting over. But even in the 300 square feet, how can we think of doing a human-centered design around them in totality? Now, unless and until the government doesn't intervene, it's not going to be possible. The government needs to intervene to kickstart the economy. They've done a boost right now for the real estate industry, which will give some kind of a survival chance to the industry. Now they need to go ahead and do it to the hospitality industry. The whole industry is shouting their throat hoarse. Like I said, to the tune of risk of 30 to 40% of hotels will shut down, 50% of restaurants. And this industry employs more than overall construction and real estate industry. Construction and real estate industry is less than 7 to 8%. This is 9 to 10% of India's GDP. And this is at stake. Every hotel is saying 50% layoff. Imagine where are these people going to go? So a couple of things again, government needs to interfere and intervene, and not just category A, B, C cities. C cities are already overflowing. So if you're talking of Nagpur, Nagpur is already overflowing. A lot of structural changes have been done in Nagpur in the last 15 years, thanks to the commissioner who got on there. But it still doesn't get the infrastructure it deserves for its growth into a proper metro center the way it's one of our 4 or 5 metros. I come back to it again. Government agencies need to listen to the fraternity actively. Construction industry requires a huge boost and real estate to come up. Without houses, we cannot have growth of this country. And proper housing and slum redevelopmentation is an inherent part of our problem as on today post this pandemic. So unless and until we do not do something about it, we will not see the positive change we wish to see. 50% of Mumbai is slums. And if these slums are not redeveloped properly in the manner they should be, we are creating only further issues for us at some point in time in the future. And we will keep talking of sustainability in a different direction. And whenever we talk of sustainability, it's only with the privatization we are talking of sustainability, never with the government projects, never with slum rehousing. So if you're talking of slum redevelopment happening in a sustainable manner, that's a different topic. That's what I would like to listen to architects talk. Now, these are some of the inherent factors which are going to decide the future of this country. Unless and until action happens on here, things won't change. So take away from this webinar, public-private partnership as far as SRA is concerned, there has to be a committee overlooking the design-centric approach of SRA. I'm least interested in the commercial approach. That SRA can do whatever they wish to do, developers can do what they wish to do. Design-wise, where slum developers will be rehoused, there has to be public-private partnership, and design and architects like us who will be more interested in their well-being will participate there. Second is government needs to do something with the real estate industry and the construction industry. Things have been in a real bad shape. What has happened to our migrant labor is pathetic. Developers have made statements that they've been taking care of their laborers. Yes, some developers have done a good job, but there are by and large, look at Noida, look at whole of NCR. They've been left to fend for themselves, and their condition has been pathetic. So government needs to intervene and take out stringent measures to be able to come into implementation with immediate effect for construction, real estate, and hospitality industries.
Well. So naturally, it's not just COVID, but COVID has given us a chance to review a lot of things which have already been ignored. And एक धर्रा चला आ रहा था चीजों को करने का, एक sudden break है जिसमें हो सकता है काफी कुछ thought level पे changes आए, and we wish that all changes will come